Casual here. With the new Horizon update, changes to Fortress and buffs to gear and mods, I think it's time I revisited my Technomancer minigun build. A build that gives you a spinning barrel of death, the armour of Iron Man and the mobility of Donald Trump walking down a ramp. If you're tired of dying, then
come with me if you want to live.
Let's get into it. There are 4 pillars that support this build. Fortify is possibly the best survivability mod in the game. Once your minigun is active, your physical damage reduction will be close to the cap. I picked up a resistance node in my class tree as well, which lets me ignore the Broodmother's AoE attack. In Outriders, damage of skills, including your minigun, scale off anomaly power. All of your gear should have anomaly power on it therefore, and picking up buffs to this through your class tree is a good thing. Adrenalizing Antenna, which is activated by Blighted Turret, and Tech Bond, which is activated by Shrapnel, both provide great buffs which you can keep up all the time with the short cooldown on these skills. Massacre is a great tier 1 mod that lets you build up your anomaly power to ridiculous levels. Bear in mind that like your minigun, it takes time to ramp up, so when taking on the hardest bosses, use easier prey to get the buffs going. Because your skills do anomaly damage, even though the minigun is firing bullets, resistance piercing is what you want, not armor piercing. Unstoppable Force adds an anomaly power buff to this as well, making it a great stat to stack. So I am picking up 2 nodes in my class tree and the tier 1 mod upgraded gun, so that I have 60% resistance piercing and a 30% anomaly power buff when minigun is up. Because I'm going to be popping Shrapnel on cooldown in order to activate Tech Bond, I have also picked up more damage. When your anomaly power buffs are maxed out, this skill will hit for 1 to 2 million. You could swap this out for more anomaly power buffs. Power Assimilation, Anomaly Echo, and Stand Tall are all great options. I am also buffing my damage output through stasis effects. Blighted Turret applies Toxic, and I have also picked up Brain Freeze to add this to my melee skill. Radical Therapy and Euthanizer buff damage by 40% to enemies afflicted by Toxic. Exposing Toxin applies Vulnerability for another 25% damage buff. And I am running the status power on all of my gear to maximise the impact and duration of stasis effect damage. Ticks of 40 to 50,000 are not uncommon with this. I am also running Captain Hunter as my final global debuff to further boost all damage to elites. Toxic also addresses the issue of ammo replenishment through Toxic Lead, which does work with the minigun, along with the mod Bang for Your Buck. In my previous build I used Fixing Wave Recorder Master to supplement this. With the new Rising changes you could also use Pain Launcher with the Grim Invented gear set. Don't. When I have ramped up my anomaly power, this build melts elites. And with the new Horizon expeditions, there are so many enemies that finding one to refill my ammo is easy. On top of that, with the buffs to weapon damage mods that came with New Horizon, this means that losing my minigun is no longer as much of an issue as it was before. Funeral Pyre with Shadow Comet and Claymore Torrent is a hip-fire beast. Roaring Umbra with Kinetic Stomp and Moaning Winds is a 1-2 sucker punch knockout. And my sidearm is, well, I never actually use it. I have stacked cooldown reduction as the 3rd stat on my gear, which gets the minigun back as quickly as possible. I can drop the minigun when I need to and avoid the painful crawl that is movement with it. And this is the big challenge with the minigun build that is harder to fix. If you know the expeditions well, you can run to key positions before activating the minigun. Expeditions with wildlife are also easier because of their herd mentality. I have come up with an alternative build though that addresses the issue somewhat. Running a 3-turret build with the minigun allows you to move through the expeditions without the minigun always being active. With your turrets down you get massive amounts of constant healing, so you can just heal through any damage you take. Swap out more damage for twins, shatter for upgraded gun, and radical therapy for freezing boost. And you have a build that is more mobile but loses a little DPS, using the minigun only at critical points. If you are struggling to solo either Storm or Realm of Fear, then this is a great build for you. Once the minigun is up and spinning, very little can take you down. But if you want a build that is also great at taking down bosses, but has more variety than just holding down a trigger, then have a look at this build. Till next time, Casual out.